Вітаю вас знову на Захід 23, практичній конференції по просуванню на західних ринках. З нами наступний доповідач Michał Suski з Surfer SEO. Ця доповідь англійською мовою, тому не переключайтесь і ми will switch into English. Hi, Michał, how are you?
Hey, thanks for having me. It's really a big pleasure for me to be here. Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you for agreeing to share your experience, because I talk every day a lot with different SEO, and you know it's a task how to rank, right? And first it's always about links and content, and your tool really helps a lot of SEOs just to understand how to optimize page better. And I actually was listening you doing the Surfer AI speech maybe 1 month ago. So I didn't try a lot with AI, but I think but we use as a on daily basis basically Hrefs, the tool that shows how to optimize content better. So thank you for your tool, and good job on it. So
it's been 7 years, you know.
yeah I know, because I develop our own tools, and it's every week we have one sprint, and every time we plan, and it never goes to the timing you actually want it to,
Especially with the AI, the landscape is changing so fast. Even 2 days ago we received the information about Llama 2, the Facebook LLM, which the first version was great but not allowed for a commercial use, and with the Llama 2nd they told that it will be available for commercial use, so all the prompts go to trash if it's better. So every month, every week you receive something different, and well just be ready to throw your prompts away quite often.
Crazy. Yeah. So your topic today, from AI to authority, why AI generated content isn't created equal. Let's start with your speech, and I will collect all the questions from the chat, and we'll talk after it. Let's go.
Yeah, let's go. I know we are already a little delayed, so
we actually don't have timing. Last time people were saying so you are late, you're always late, so we just remove timing, so yeah.
I'm waiting for the screen to refresh on YouTube, so I know it's the presentation time. Oh yeah, it's there, so you see my screen. Oh, good. All right, so
треба посилання на вчора, немає часу на підготовку контенту. Хочете розміститись в експертних статтях або рейтингах поряд з лідерами ніші? Тоді вам потрібні link insertions. Ваші посилання розміщуються у вже опублікованих статтях, які тематичні, проіндексовані, а також можуть мати трафік або беклінки. Залиште заявку на сайті backlinkers.com вже сьогодні.
Why AI content isn't created equal, that's the topic. My name is Michał Suski. I'm the head of innovation at Surfer. Before I start, I will just drop a few lines about myself. So I'm from Poland, southeast part of Poland, pretty close to Ukrainian and Slovakian border. I'm Master of Science at Forestry, so nothing really related to marketing, IT, or whatever, building products, not at all. I started working as a QA, so the manual tester, in 2014, and joined SEO train in 2016, and since 2017 we are building Surfer. And besides that, I'm a skiing addict. I'm looking forward to visit Gorgans and other parts of Ukrainian spots, because I heard they are awesome. All right, so this is Surfer. I just wanted to start with building a little bit more credibility. So we serve quite a lot of people, big brands, small brands, over 100,000 users that are using it daily. But besides of serving clients. We also serve the people a little because we got like a lot of Ukrainian friends. And yeah, I just wanted to share with you that there's like a personal touch to the company. So we try to help as well. So folks, agenda, 3 things today. We are not going to go through like corporate stuff, like write an email with AI and then someone else is summarizing the email with AI. That's not the thing. I will try to switch your mindset in utilizing the AI content in your SEO campaigns. So they are long-term campaigns, so they can really build you traffic over time, not only give you a boost at the very beginning and then you will get nuked. So we will touch on these. We'll cover like the biggest struggle with generative AI, these reasons why they can fail in a long run, and I will show you the case study about like how we recovered AI created website that was really doing great and dropped and was nuked, and then it's thriving again. So that's the three main talking points for today, and we start with this main struggle. So where I asked some like prompt engineers and data scientists at server, like, what do you think was the biggest issue? And they basically told me that the problem is that you can get something nice out of it, but it will be only nice on the surface. If you want to make it detailed, like explain specifically, like use that keyword here, use that keyword there, print me an image of something crazy, not only like young lady in a forest. No, it will be like young lady in a forest with a crowbar and a backpack and I don't know, like whatever kind of, something crazy, and the AI will struggle a lot. And the same is about writing content with AI. If you want to feed it with so many facts, with so many entities, with so many points that you really want to get in the order, you will have trouble. And I got a little analogy to this with just a simple image of a plumber. It looks good overall, but if you look at a hand, well, not really. If you look at this, the countertop, the drawers, it's all skewed. And it's the same about the AI content. On the surface, it will look good, but if it's not really fed with data properly and not using the proper large language models, the best, the newest ones, you will get like that plumber. Okay, so to get this kind of chart in your Google Search Console with feeding your website with AI content, you need 3 areas covered, and these areas are the content strategy. So writing for the whole topical clusters, not writing for like just a single money pages. You need entities and topics based on the SERPs. So this is what Surfer does in content editor, like we'll just crawl and fetch the entities and so on. So you need this in the AI pipeline to make sure it attracts Googlebot, and you need the scale, because like posting an article a day is not enough. You need to post a ton if you really want to leverage the AI. All right. So what stops you? Again, three things stops us in getting these charts. So what is this? The first thing is the lack of plan, and it will be all about keywords clustering and the proper data-driven research for topical authority, not research for the search volume and just using these shiny objects like I don't know, $100 CPC value keyword. Let's write for it. Or 10K search volume keyword. Let's write for it. Management will like it. No, definitely that's not a good idea. It's looking good on the reports, like we target only the bold keywords and so on. But if you want to build topical authority, if you want to create like a really comprehensive source of information about the project, about the niche you are trying to take over. It is really important to do the keyword research not based on the search volume, but based on the topical authority and covering as many pages as you can. So that's the one thing. And for those who don't know what is a clustering, it's basically deciding whether an article should be, whether the keyword should be a target keyword for article A, the other for article B, or should they be joined together? And the analysis is created like based on the search results. So keyword A has some search results, keyword B has some other search results. If there is no overlap, you write 2 separate articles. If there is overlap, you create a single article targeting those two keywords. It's really important to avoid cannibalization and writing precisely a lot of articles that will target the proper group of keywords. So the same as Google is really wanting. So these keywords should be targeted together, and it's important. If there is overlap in search results, Google displays the same documents answering these 2 keywords, just join them. And there are tools for it. You can do it on your own as well in Google. So the plan for the topical authority, there's like 2 phases. First phase is the analysis, and second, obviously, the execution. A few tips in here and there. So when it comes to the analysis, you need to like figure out the money pages while doing the research and gather all the keywords around. All the info content you can think of should be gathered, grouped, and planned as supportive pages with proper leveraging the internal linking. What does it mean? You need to create a support mesh, a network, like a PBN network, but inside your website. You need to create like that network of supportive content, no matter the search volume of these pieces. They will be related to the pillar page content, and they will link in between each other to create a strong network, and all of them will link back to the pillar page. That's the key for topical authority. And when it comes to the execution, just make sure that one keyword is only in one cluster, and one cluster is only one article, just to avoid the cannibalization and other issues. Another tip would be about the internal linking anchors. So keywords that are in the cluster, so those that you want to rank on, should be anchors pointing to that page. If you do this properly, you will get like Google understand what's on the other side on the link, like which page should rank for that keyword, and cover, of course, all the topic, doesn't matter what's their search volume. When it comes to the clustering tools, there are plenty. There's Keyword QP, there's content distribution, and there's Surfer, of course. All of them work on the same similar principle. So comparing search results in Google, yet of course I will get you closer to how we do it, because I know precisely how we do it. So it's a little bit more scientific approach than just comparing 2 SERPs. Yeah, because what? Because we compare all the keywords. It's not only like taking 100 keywords and getting their SERPs and comparing. It's about the whole keywords database. As for now, it's the US database. That's actually a new approach. So there's like a whole database of keywords, like 100 million keywords clustered together to create the proper grouping for the whole internet. And thanks to that, we can find the neighbors of each keywords, because like how it works. So you got like 2 keywords and they have the similar search results, and the overlap is scored. Like you got a few points for each overlapping URL on position and so on. And if there's like the score is high enough, 2 keywords will be joined in the same cluster. But if the connection is weaker, is smaller, then they won't be joined, but they will be related. They will be neighbors. And thanks to that, you can ask for neighbors. You can ask for neighbors of the neighbors and their neighbors. So you can explore like the whole clustered internet this way. And after that, semantic analysis kicks in to figure out like, because Google is not that good, you know. After like doing research on the clustering, we struggled a lot figuring out that why I see this keyword as the neighbor of that keyword. And it turned out that there is a around the niche of SEO, there is a keyword SEO in Google. And I was like, what the hell is this? And it turned out that the SEO in Google is a Korean actor or something. And even Google is ranking websites about search engine optimization on the keywords SEO in Google, who's an actor. So the semantic analysis is really crucial in here to figure out what's really about the topic and what's issue of Google algorithm. So yeah, this semantic analysis is really important in here. So this is how connections in between keywords look like. As you can see, like there are colors, like these colors represent clusters, the clusters are related, and yeah, so that's the analysis under the hood. Then you can look at these groups of clusters that are like creating sort of like a map of topics that you should really cover to become an expert in a niche. And it is all turned into sort of a table that is a connection of semantics and Google data, and gives you like all the folders that are like your keywords to target if you want to create a proper plan for topical authority. All right, so yeah, if you got such a plan and if you execute it well, you will see such a chart. The chart is representing Google Search Console data from the page that, yeah, that page that was roasted by the Google algorithm. And yeah, even the well-executed plan can turn into a disaster if it has some other issues. So, but anyway, if you have the proper plan, this is what you should see. The real-time data. This is the second point that can like be an issue when it comes to using AI content. And well, everybody says like, yeah, GPT is trained on a data set, is only 2021 data, blah, blah, blah. It doesn't matter. It's about data for optimization, not like knowing who's the president of the USA right now. It's not that big issue. The big issue is that without the real-time information, we don't know what kind of information is appreciated by Google. So you need entities and topics that pages that are currently ranking in Google display on their websites. You need facts, like the statements, basically the bits of information that these websites are sharing, so you can, well, replicate or inspire the AI with them. And then we got the user intent, which is obviously really important, and AI without the proper user intent target is not going to take you far. So what do? We just crawl the SERP. In the SERP, we got everything we need when it comes to the real-time data, because the AI can read, AI can segment the information, and it can get inspired with what it learned, really. The prompt engineering, basically creating the pipeline, is replicating what your writers do while they are like doing the research, analysis, and creation. Because what writers do? Writers go to the SERP and read. Check what's there, what's the information, what's important, what are the questions, what are the things to mention, and so on. They use some tools like Surfer or other tools to help them with entities, with the length, with structure. But overall, it's like everything is in the SERP, and we just need to create something unique out of it, and something that will answer everything in the most easy to understand way that will be also comprehensive and like just better content than what it can be scraped from the SERPs. And there are many options to get there. Like you can definitely use the ChatGPT plus the web pilot. Is extremely helpful to gather information from the web, because you can ask web pilot to read a website, to read a piece of content, and it will really create a summary. It can create list of entities, it can create a list of questions, it can create list of definitions, it can create everything that could be found in a brief for a real writer. So if you are using plugins for web browsing in ChatGPT, make sure to use them the right way. So create like a knowledge base for the article, and then use that knowledge base in generation. Avoid a situation of like generating the article with a single prompt that is, input output. It will be limited, and the longer the prompt, the trickier it gets to have all the entities used, to have all the questions and answers found in the article, to have the coherent structure and so on. So try to gather the information first, then categorize the information, just like I put it here. Read it with AI, segment it, and get inspired. So feed the AI not with website's content, but feed it with information obtained from the website's content. You will shorten the path for the AI to learn within the single prompt. You will like shorten the amount of tokens that are in the last writing prompt. So just get the data, whatever the way. At Surfer, we do it automatically, of course, and I wouldn't be myself if I didn't share anything about it. Yeah, layering the prompts. So just out of curiosity, I will tell you that there is like 400,000 tokens used in generating a single article in Surfer AI. So you can imagine it's like 12, 13 full token size requests to the GPT-4, because it has 32K tokens. And what it does, it automates the process. So like fetching the information from the web, then reading the content, figuring out what's important, running the NLP, extracting topics, questions, and then at the very end, writing the actual content. And it can be done through the APIs. It can be done like half manually with the chat, 100%. You can try it out. You can even use the playground and get information, save the prompt, save the output, put it further and further. So yeah, that's how it works. 400,000 tokens is a ton of real-time data to create the article that is, well, that is all right. It's not like shitty article. So about the inferior AI engines, GPT has many variants. Right now we have the most popular of GPT 3.5 and GPT-4, but falling in love with the chip is not the right way of doing SEO, unless your goal is to feed the PBNs, is to feed some dropped domains that you want to just recreate for cheap to send some backlinks. That will be okay. But if you want like a client-facing content, there's no point in using these cheap algorithms. This is the evolution of these large language models, and as you can see, this is just a few years. It's 5 years on this chart, and in recent times, it's more and more and more new models popping up. There are open source, there are paid models. We even have Llama from Facebook, Llama 2, which will be probably allowed for the commercial use. So GPT-4 will have a really decent competitor. So yeah, really cool times ahead of us in terms of how the industry is changing. So yeah, don't fall with the cheap like GPT-3 right now. It's really not the way to go. 100%. 3.5 turbo is like for some applications it's okay, but for the final generation, definitely no. So what we can do, like we can get the best like GPT-4 32K, or we will get a small context window, we will get hallucinations, repetitions, issues with facts, not following the instructions, and when it comes to scale, we will get patterns, we will get no analytical skills and so on. So it will get like, you'll get busy because, well, the quality and cheap article, all right, but a lot of labor. You will just have to rewrite many sections. You will just have to fix the facts, fix the hallucinations, fix the repetitions. You don't need to fix them if that's the PBN content, and absolutely 100% go for it if that's the PBN content. I can even tell you that I ran a little case study back in the days. It was like a year and a half ago or something. We used GPT-2 XL. So it's really old one. That was, where is it? GPT Neo, yeah, J, and just somewhere like, yeah, here. Engine from like 2019. We used a GPT-2, but with the bigger kind of package. So it was like almost like GPT-3, but cheaper. So to the point. I published like 25 or 30 articles on surferseo.com using this GPT-2 XL, and these pages ranked like crazy, and there were even some that were like getting thousands of clicks. So it's possible, definitely, to rank them, but they dropped and they never recovered just because they were like too crappy. All right, moving forward, I created sort of a comparison just to show you the general approach of what you can do, what you can expect from each type of AI content, basically. So we got, on one hand, we got the assisted writing. It will be cheap in tokens, in credits, but it will be expensive in time. However, it has a plus of you being involved in a writing, like the ChatGPT, like Jasper. It's helpful to actually be involved, to read while you are writing it, and so on. So these articles will turn out nice, but will take some time. The cheap long form AI, this is the worst approach, I think, because even though you will get it cheap and you will get the generation real quickly, it will require a ton of editing and a ton of optimization because there is no real-time data for SEO. And like in many cases, you will end up rewriting the whole piece if you want to like sign it with your name. And again, if that's the PBN content, go for the cheap long form AI. Don't touch it. Accept it's not the best, but Google will take it. We don't know for how long it will be there ranking, but Google will take it, and you will be able to send some backlinks from these websites. So yeah, if you want to recover like a drop domain, rebuild it quickly, cheap long form is the fastest, cheapest, the most risky, but for that purpose, it will be okay. And then we have the premium long form, which is more expensive, between $10, $20 per piece. I know it's quite a lot, but when it comes to the amount of time it saves, it's ridiculously cheap when you consider like hiring 10, 20 more writers at once and managing them and communicating, while you can like get a batch of 100 articles in a day, and the only bottleneck will be publishing process. So it's all about the goal. If you want to save some money, assisted writing is for you. If you want to recreate a PBN that you don't like want to spend too much on it, is the cheap Longform AI. And if you want to really scale up the proper content, the content that is client facing, the content that you are not like ashamed of signing with your name, then it's a premium AI. So yeah, these are only cheaper if you don't value the time. And obviously everybody has to like look at the ROI calculator, basically. How long does it take me? How much do I value my time? Does it make sense to go for a premium? If so, then go. If not, then no. It's a simple calculation. Just do the calculation, do the math, and you will figure it out what works better. And now the case study, something that probably will build a little bit more credibility in what I'm saying. So the PEEP strategy, that's the website, and here are the people behind the website. It's Tom, it's Bartek, and Susanna. They are like SEOs and copywriters, and they were building this website. What was it? It was human edited Jasper content that then was server optimized and was planned with clusters. So at first glance, it was okay, but the human edition wasn't like the proper edition. It was just quick check and injecting some keywords here and there. So it wasn't like 2 hours editing to a piece. It was more like 10, 20 minutes to make it a little bit rounded on the corners. And see what happened. A while of silence for the website, because it was thriving. It was thriving and received a hit. So as you can see, there is like a decent drop around this area. And what happened next? The trend continued with another massive drop in here. Yeah, the owner was a little, I wouldn't say panicked, but kind of sad. At least we got a decent case study that it doesn't work, right? But we thought like maybe we can do something about it and do some other tests. So take a look at this. We replaced 150 pages with AI generated content. That was the first test of the Surfer AI. It was like March this year. We replaced 150 pages. So AI pages that received the biggest hit were replaced with another AI pages. And at first I was like, it's not really working. It's been like 2-3 weeks and just a few pages started to pick up a little bit, got indexed. But what happened next was really, really pleasing, I would say, because here's the drop in the middle, the biggest drop. And then when it started to pick up, you see this like March 7th. Here is when we started replacing the articles, and boom, it went up, and it went up to the levels as it was like around the best times for this website. This website is not small. It has like 100,000 clicks and 10 million impressions. So it's a decent big website about marketing. And the only thing we did, we basically replaced old AI articles written with Jasper and optimized with Surfer AI content that is just written by Surfer and optimized by Surfer. So these are the results. 150 articles replaced. And a short summary, because we are getting to an end. a short summary for you is like to take care of these three elements of leveraging the AI. I will start from the right-hand side. So crawl for the data. This is important because you will end up with generic content. The generic content can rank, but it's not like a long-lasting strategy. What you should try is to get as close to what Google is displaying right now in the top 10 as you can. And the only way to do this is to examine the top 10. That's the way to go. In the middle, we've got the best AI engines. Some older engines that have lower prices will be perfect for the PBN content to generate thousands of pages at once and rebuild 100 domains within a month. Is definitely a good strategy. But if you really want user-facing content, that will be the best large language model you can have right now. And right now is GPT-4 32K. However, we've got Llama 2nd on the horizon, and it can be even better. So we will see. There is also the Falcon, the biggest Falcon. We tried it. It's not that good. So at least you got one less to test. So waiting for the Llama, and we'll see how it goes. Always be on the forefront. Always check what's the best right now, and don't waste time on generating content on the old stuff when there is something better. And last but not least, clustering the keywords. Just to make sure you avoid cannibalization, then you cover everything related to the topic, every supportive page around the topic. These days, when we got the AI, it's just a waste of potential not to cover everything that is there to cover around your money page. So all the questions answered, all the topics covered, everything in order of a cluster. So what's grouped ranks together, what's split ranks on the separate URLs. And with these three elements, like a best engine, clustered keywords, and real-time data, you will have long-lasting AI content strategy. And that's it. That was me, Michał Suski, Head of Innovation at Surfer. Thank you. If there are any questions, let's go.
Hey, thank you so much for your speech. We got some questions. While you were talking, I was like, imagine how, like, because you're talking about topical authority and like a lot of pages around. So like basically like Matt Diggity talks about topical authority and everything around. Backlinko used to talk about skyscrapers, and there's another guy who was talking about keyword golden ratio, KDR technique. Yeah. If you combine all them together, plus use strong links, I think, I was just thinking about, like how you like say, okay, do topical authority, how to do it. You write the content, like, because it's a lot of information, like, because I'm trying to test more, and I see, it works. It for real works. But there are some questions. Like, for example, let's start with the first question. Do you publish all article at once, or you slowly publish them? Like, I don't know, 2 per day, 1 per day.
When I have them, right when I have them. When I've got the article ready to publish, I publish. That's the thing. As soon as I can. There are no like batches. There is one exception though. There's one exception, and that exception will be rebuilding the website. Like you fetch the domain on the auction or whatever. It was down. It was not there for quite some time. In that case, publish all at once, not one by one, because you will get this first impression, and that first impression, you want it to be like the best you can. So wait to recreate as many URLs as you can. But if it's like an ongoing publication, just publish when you have it.
Nice, nice. I think I will do a test. It sounds good, like take a super good trusted domain with good backlinks and just like publish whole like niche website, like for 150 pages, let's say.
Let me know when you want to try it. I mean, we can do it together. I'm happy.
I for sure will do. I have even like the niche just to test, you know, like so half of this conference mostly promote website in one niche, you know.
What's the niche?
iGaming. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, but we have like different like things to test, but like it's good. Thank you for answering like with the all content at once. Is it hard to find human editors for AI proofread? Like, for example, you have like this like article that in the end you need still proofread. Like, how do you deal with like, because it's like still human factor and it's, you know.
It's actually good that most of the AI content still requires it, because this way we can have a human touch on every single article, and all of the writers that are still there on the market, they are just less busy, because a lot of generic content like another guide to buying running shoes, you know, is just written by AI, not written by human and just edited by human. So any writer that was writing for you previously can edit the content later, and that I would contact them first.
Okay. Thank you for answer. So next question, how exactly does Surfer SEO calculate the number of keywords that should be used in the content editor? This was actually the first question from the chat.
So there's like a top 10 analyzed, and with the top 10, we create sort of a core set of elements that the page should include, including keywords, of course. And after the core is calculated, we select the top 5 pages, not by ranking, but by the score. And only those top 5 pages are setting the rules, like how long should it be, or how many keywords should be used on a page. And there are like there's a threshold between like 5 to 10, because some pages are using 5, some pages are using 10, and it is all considered as their density. So one page was shorter and has less keywords, some pages were longer and had more keywords, and their density were like the same. So it's like all like, it's just a simple mathematics, some averages, some analysis, like who has how many per 1,000, and the threshold represents like between the lowest and the highest value.
How often do you change this? Like, because I have a test, like, for example, I don't know, you have like competitor tool. I'm not going to mention it, but it's also said.
Why not? Come on.
That it's mentioned, but the Neuron writer by Polish guys.
They're also from Poland.
Yeah. And like, it's weird because like sometimes we have like sprints with like SEO team leads, and like I say, okay, this is a good tool, let's try, you know, and they rewrite like 10, 15, 20 pages and they drop, you know, after you rewrite. So
I can tell you that they just introduced JavaScript crawling. I mean, rendering the actual page. We had it from the very beginning, so that can be one of the issues, because when you only crawl with this simple HTML crawler, you are receiving something, and that something is not precisely what Google is receiving while they are rendering the page, and it can cause harm. We had like many calculations on that, like, is it worth to use these rendering crawlers even though they are more expensive? Is it really important for SEO? And it turns out that there is no excuse. We just have to crawl with the proper crawler, rendering the page, just to discover that there was some content that we couldn't fetch with the simple HTML crawlers. That can be the case, for example.
Yeah, makes sense. So it's like if you can get analogy to backlinks, for example, you see Ahrefs, Majestic, Moz, or whatever, like the links they show, but there are some that are hidden, right? And if you don't count them, you don't count in the strategy, and like yeah, makes sense. Like it's a really good.
There's always a good idea to have more information than less. If there is a chance there's something hiding, it can ruin your whole strategy for a keyword, because you will be chasing something that is not the best. Like there's even sometimes a situation that the best content in the top 10 is on a position 10 or position 9, and if you are blindly following like instructions like just top 3 and I don't look at anything else, it can turn out it will backfire at you, just because you analyze your content against competitors that are not the best with content, or a situation when you rank already in the top 10, right? You are like position 6, position 5, and you think like, I will run another optimization round just to make sure I am the best. And what happens? You had already the best content. And what did you do? You nerfed your content because you optimized against those that were in the top 10, but had worse content than you already, and you drop. And it's like, what happened? What happened? You just compared yourself to someone that is worse and followed his worst strategy. So we always have to be like common sense oriented and double cautious when it comes to the top pages optimization.
Yeah, makes sense. Thank you for answering. Next question is, tell more about topic modeling techniques like latent Dirichlet allocation, LDA to group or cluster threads based on the content.
These are the areas I didn't explore, so I wouldn't share too much information. I can tell you more about clustering with like Python algorithms like optics or dbScan, but not about these. Yeah. So what you have to know about me is that I am not a programmer. I got a group of people who do what I feel is good for SEO. So I'm blessed to not know every technical stuff. I just ask for something and we test it, and they build it this way or another, and it gives some results, and then we test it in Google. But in general, I am not coding, so yeah, sorry about that.
Yeah, it's absolutely normal. Like, by quality of long form AI content, you mean deeply researched content based on inputs for GPT-4? If yes, when then why deeply researched if cost in hit for a case study? Yeah, I'm trying to.
When we were hit in that case study, it wasn't deeply researched content. It was just the writer and Jasper interface, and compose, do some changes, compose, do some changes. So it was that content, that kind of content. Of course, we had Surfer on the side, but it was only about the entities and the length. So it's not that deeply researched. It had these keywords inside, but there were no like in-depth analysis of what's the context of using that keyword, what's the question that keyword answers, and so on. So at the time it was this, and as far as I know, at the time the website was built, it was GPT-3 through the Jasper, even not the GPT 3.5. It was like the first GPT-3, and the research that was done on the case study recovery pages written by Surfer AI, it wasn't GPT-432K because there was no GPT-432K in March. Yet it was the newest GPT-3, like the newest Da Vinci, and it had a lot of research in terms like Da Vinci was reading top 10 pages, like page by page, read the page. What did you find? What did you learn? What's interesting in there? What are the, like, not keywords, because keywords we had from the NLP API from Surfer, but what questions does it answer, and so on. And then when we received like information from the top 10 pages, it was clustered, like which questions are common, which questions are unique, which topics, what are the answers, what are the facts that actually answer the questions. And with that piece of information, sort of a knowledge base, that knowledge base was taken to the prompt, and it was like, you know, executed like one by one, with connections in between, like previous section, the next section. So every section that was generated was like, hey, you just wrote about that, just to save the prompt, you know, you just wrote about that using these or that keywords, answer these or those queries, and next question you are writing is about something else, and then write the next question, the next section. And section by section, with like the rolling window of information, it was producing the whole piece of content. So it was that different. Jasper, compose versus like rolling window of the knowledge base supported kind of pipeline. So yeah,
that makes sense. Thank you. When we can use AI in Surfer for Ukrainian language, because now it doesn't work in this app. This question.
Yeah.
From the chat.
It will be only English for probably quite long, because the biggest market is there, and yeah, we would have to sacrifice progress with English just to make sure to cover other languages, and there will like be like, all right, so now Polish or French, German or Spanish, or maybe Dutch, or maybe something else, maybe Ukrainian, and it will be like all the time. What do we do next, instead of, you know, building the best in English? So get English client and use English Surfer AI. Yeah,
makes sense. And plus, we have a conference for the people who promote websites for like foreign markets.
You'll get better wages, you'll get better everything. Like from the start, I can tell you that we targeted Surfer to the US and UK, like English-speaking markets, and it was one of the best decisions we've ever made. So no translated landing pages, no other currencies, no other like support in English, everything in English. And it turned out that it was so much easier to get recognized as the the proper company that can help big businesses, small too, but in general, we were like treated seriously after that.
Yeah.
So good design.
Yeah, nice. Thank you for answering. So another question in the chat: find it confusing how pillar pages in content hubs influence performance of money pages. Does it increase ranking or give an opportunity to lead users from top to bottom in a funnel?
Isn't pillar the same as money? I mean, that I use these for the to name the same kind of page that is important to you. If you have a situation where there are some pillar pages, like, all right, so maybe a pillar in this case could be like a big, bold skyscraper, like huge info content with all of the smaller info pages below, and then you have competing money page. Well, yeah, it can cannibalize each other. It feels like, because you want to have a laser focus from the crawl budget to really like you got the lens, and with all of the supporting pages, the light, which is the crawl budget, let's say, flows through the lens. You want the lens to point precisely on the money page to give it a huge kick, the biggest kick you can afford with your support pages and backlinks. And only then your money pages will reach its full potential. If you split in between the pillar that brings you traffic but not money, and the money page that has not the best rankings because it's competing with pillar, at least for the crawl budget and the link juice that is flowing somewhere, yeah, it can hurt. So focus on what makes you money.
Yeah. Max from the chat, he just clarified. He said, "Pillar in my question stands for informative content built in content hubs." Sorry. Yeah, that's what he said. Okay. Next question: how would you suggest to deal with mixed search intent? I mean, the keywords where guides, landings, and categories pages rank at the same time.
Yeah, so look at the majority. This is how we actually analyze them in the content planner. It's like we look at the SERPs and we check what's the majority of the URLs serving. If like 6 out of 10 is a landing page, is a landing page target. It's 5 to 5, then you have to choose. But in general, even though if the majority of the URLs are not the same type as you want to write, let's say there are 5 landing pages, 2 e-commerce products, and only 3 blog posts, and you still want to rank blog post, that's okay, but make sure to take into consideration only blog post competitors. So not mix the benchmarks, not mix the guidelines for the writer from different user intents. I would say it's like a separate SERP. You can even create a separate SERP from the SERP. Like SERP with mixed intent can be 2 SERPs, SERP of landing pages and SERP of info content. You can like do it like this.
That's how I usually tag them, like for example, operators, affiliate site, local niche, and but did you see, like for example, let's say it's a lot of Parasite SEO, like where you create articles and you outrank like websites, right, through like, let's say, I don't know, Men's Journal or whatever websites. You just create super good optimized page, and let's say the SERP was with the review websites, and then, for example, if I see my one article ranks, I already started making money, so I do another one and another one. So I change the intent of the SERP from landing page to informational. So what I see is the landing page website, they imitate, like from landing page, they started to do review on their page as an article, but they're still landing page. Does it also make sense?
Yeah, I would include them in a benchmark. If like if they're like only masked landing page, then in fact it is a blog post. And the technique you mentioned is really nice when you have multiple domains in the same niche, right? Because like having the same domain, 2 URLs trying to it won't happen, right? So yeah, you just have to have a few domains in a niche, or you can. I did it in the agency for quite a few times when I was working there, because my client's website was really hard to optimize. It was a big client with old website that you can't change. So it was like, okay, we'll never get there. But what we did, we basically built some guest posts that were super really cool optimized, and they outranked. And actually, like we managed to get a few spots in the SERP for different pages than the page of our client, and it's something, right? So you can do it as well to like take over the SERP, even though you don't have domains.
Yeah, that's what's happening right now. It's crazy. In many niches, like websites, like you don't even need to have one. You just need to have like TDS, like Kitaro, nice optimized article, and a lot of outreach and like main page or whatever links you have, like just to boost your article. Yeah. Okay, let's go to the next question. Considering web pilot approach to inform GPT on existing SERP competitors, is GPT able to keep the context if I upload links with ask to analyze prompt one by one? It's a complicated question.
Yeah, it is, what I feel like I get it. So you want to do it one by one. and you want to ask GPT to give you the output that will contain enough context so you can find yourself in later. So not only what keyword is important or what question is important, but also give me the question and the answer. What was the keyword? Okay, but give me the keyword and example of use from that page of that keyword. And this way you will be able to map out like everything in an order. Like you can even ask it later, hey, now arrange these questions or facts from general to specific. So we have the reader's journey from like getting used to the topic at the very end, like getting Nobel Prize for like answering the complex question. So yeah, save as much data as you can. Just with the limit of 32K GPT-4 for the final generation. That's the thing. That's the thing. You need to get to like 32K, because with the GPT-4 32K, if you split the generation in many separate prompts, in my opinion, it's not as coherent as if you fit it in a single 32K. So there is like a limit for it.
Okay, and question for me: will you have like because like work mode more in Surfer? What I mean by work mode, right now you have kind of research mode, right? So you give recommendation how to write an article, so like you will most likely rank, right? But sometimes, like after you like already published an article, let's say in like 2 months, 3 months, you can get data from Search Console, like keywords, you know, like that Ahrefs don't show, other tools don't show, but you get notified. And when you include these keywords, you can already rank like top 5, but you don't have this keyword, right? If you include them in a text, you rank number 1 just like with nothing.
A year ago, we introduced a product called GrowFlow, and it was meant specifically to do this. It failed because of some other issues, but in general, this is the approach we'll be definitely continuing on working. It's still there. It does exactly what you say. It automatically checks the pages you have against the Google Search Console. It will crawl the page, see the content. Okay, you are missing a keyword, you rank on position 11. What's easier than that? Nothing. So I'm glad you asked this question, because it means that after a year, still not everybody knows we have such a product, and it means that there is a demand. The first, it will be in a WordPress plugin soon, probably really soon, because it's already scoped, and you will have such a connection in WordPress plugin that will connect the Search Console, and directly in WordPress it will advise you on these keywords.
Nice. Just think about like this. Imagine you have e-commerce store or the website, right? You connect this plugin, and it gives you potential according, because Search Console give you impression and give you a position, right? So and it gives you, okay, you should go these pages first, add these keywords, and you can increase your traffic, because and you just
dude, this is specifically how it works. It will list you like top 50 URLs by the potential impression turned into clicks from the keywords you are not using in the content. This is exactly what the product does. Exactly.
Nice. We didn't have like on the market. Yeah, so we did it like couple years ago, like our own, but we don't use only WordPress. We have like Laravel website, others. So we just connect to Search Console, and it's a problem to do a product because not everyone want to access their like Search Console in the way like WordPress does, you know. So yeah. Nice. Okay.
About it later, like in a couple days.
Okay. So I guess it's so you suggest creating content by section with the flow, research, analyze, write a single paragraph or section rather than with one well-written prompt, right?
That was the case for the case study thing before we had GPT-4. Now it's different. Now it's like a lot of research, and then all the research is combined into a prompt, because GPT-4 is huge. It allows you to, if you provide the right information, it can take a lot and will give you a decent output at once. The thing with doing it at once versus piece by piece is that you don't have to follow up all the time. Like, you just wrote this, so you have to remind the AI to, like, what did it write previously, to have like a flow between the sections. With the single prompt at the very end, the last execution prompt, you'll be able to like keep the coherence of the article, and it will keep the style. It will avoid the repetition much better than with the prompt by prompt, like section by section.
Nice.
That's my take. Yeah.
Okay, thank you so much for like being at our conference. I think a lot of people like will appreciate, like and hopefully will use more, and give feedback more. And we are switching to the next speaker, a couple minutes, and we'll be with you back again. Thank you so much.
Enjoy the rest of the conference, everybody. Cheers.
Вітаю, шановне панство! Я Семо з Ahrefs. Дозвольте розказати вам про Ahrefs Webmaster Tools. Наш новий безкоштовний план. З AWT ви отримуєте безкоштовний доступ до двох наших інструментів – Site Audit та Site Explorer. В Site Audit можна аналізувати до 5000 сторінок вашого сайту на місяць і відстежувати більше сотні проблем оптимізації. Site Explorer надає доступ до всіх світів із даними про беклінки